At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and an exciting new airport mall. Finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport. The experience will move you.
At GEBE, our commitment extends beyond utilities. It's about exceptional service. Meet the heart of the operation, the customer service team. With a friendly voice and a helping hand, we're here to address your concerns. Whether it's a billing question or a technical issue, we're dedicated to finding solutions. Your satisfaction drives us. We listen, we act, and we make a difference. GEBE, the power to serve.
And I'll fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait to be. Tell me how to wait to go. Tell me all that I should know. And I'll fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait to go. Tell me how to wait to be. To evoke some empathy. And I'll fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait to go. Tell me how to wait to see. Show me all that I could be.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Anthony. Okie dokie. What's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? We begin with the news of... I had to take a breather yesterday because I was getting nauseous. SOS Radio, bam, another one. There, PGD2, another one. Then you got them online with a Facebook Live from Uruguay. Then you have them going back and forth. National Alliance, one side. The United People's Party, together. So, Super 7, that's their side. And then, of course, on the other side, you got the Now Party, the PFP, the DP, and the URSM. On the other side, who is to blame for the stalemate that is happening in Parliament? Then you have another fight that is happening within the Council of Ministers, where, of course, the governor says no to the two incoming ministers that's supposed to be taking oath very soon, but can't because they did not get approved to become ministers. So you have about 7 ministers salty, upset, telling the governor he's no good, he's not doing his job. So 2 fights. Who's winning? Where's the balance? I don't know, because St. Martin's supposed to be a real place. Today, I had the opportunity to speak to Member of Parliament Duran and Member of Parliament Otley. Now, the whole idea behind the interview was to get some clarity as to what is the problem, where the problem is. St. Martin people would say, what a problem be? Where a problem is, what going on? So, I bring to you some answers. We are here with, I don't know, do I call them the spokespersons of the Super 7, or do I call them, of course, the 2 members of Parliament? I hate to use the word opposition, but, you know, they're members of Parliament. We have, from the National Alliance, of course, MP Duran. Good day to you. And, of course, we have, I don't know, that's my new name for him now. MP Omar Otley. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm doing great.
I don't know if are you doing great, because are you on a whole media tour? Is it elections yet? What's going on with all you? Because all you have to make sure that the people know what is going on. I know, that's the whole idea. With this situation that is happening, 30 members of Parliament, 2 have to come in, 2 meetings were called, did not take place. Of course, fingers are being pointed left, the others to the right. Just getting to a little bit to the center of it. Give us your take as to where we are now. Let's start off with MP Doran.
Well, it's quite simple for me. We received two letters a couple of days ago, before the meeting was called on Thursday last week, and upon a quick glance of the letters, we saw that there was some concerns with it. The main concern was that the letter was booked in on Labor Day, which was a holiday, not a problem. But the problem was that the letter was dated May 2nd. To go into it, one of them was to go into effect on May 3rd. The other one was for immediate effect. So a letter booked in on the 1st, dated the 2nd, to go into effect on the 3rd. There's an issue there because even coming from recently the executive side, once a letter is booked into DIP, it has to reflect the date that the letter is booked in. You can't book a letter into the future.
Yeah, correct.
You understand? And in the beginning of the meeting on Monday, because they accused us of not coming to support in the meeting the week before, and that we boycott the meeting. But in essence, the coalition boycott itself, whereas one whole party was missing from the 2x4 and half of another. So for me, it's unfair to try to create that narrative, and they've been pushing that narrative ever since, because everyone was present to the swearing in. And then again, on Monday morning, missing again, and then all the nice stories and so forth. But they need to get their act together, and that is besides the point. On Monday, I asked for clarity in the notifications. I say, Madam Chair, I have quite some concerns. This letter seems borderline fraudulent based on advice that I've received as well, because I did look deep into it, and I would like some clarity. It was totally ignored.
Yeah. And that's where you feel like something is not right.
Something is definitely not right, and I think that as a member of parliament, we all should be treated equal, whether part of the coalition or not. And if clarity is sought for, it can be provided by the presidium. Hence the reason to follow up, but I guess we'll get into that after.
Now, MP Otley, when it comes to persons having the impression that this is somewhat of a catch you back because you didn't form with the 2x4, you guys are sour grapes, that's what they call it. But of course, MP is supposed to be responsible for checks and balances. That's actually the job.
Correct.
So, your take on that narrative that's also out there?
Well, sour grapes is something that we expected. If the coalition had done their due diligence properly, we wouldn't be in this situation. So what I think is that, first of all, they need to own up to their mistake, right? And when you own up to your mistake, then you can say the real situation. Because you made an error, but you're now trying to throw the error on the so-called opposition. Okay? So it's like, when we were in that situation, and many asked, yeah, but you might be in that situation tomorrow. But it's our duty to show up as a full coalition, a majority of 8, 9, 10, however, and ensure that we able to pass the credentials. Now, do you call it power hungry? Do you call it lack of strategic maneuvering? That you so bad want to go into the building that you neglect to have your coalition together, you neglect to wait to bring some of your members back? You know what I'm saying? And then now it becomes, oh, you guys don't want to. The Thursday meeting, the coalition had enough to do what they needed to do. The Now faction did not show up. So immediately they tried to throw the blame at we didn't show up when their own coalition member didn't show up. We received an email from the chair lady. Basically, this was never ever seen. We are asking for your cooperation. Please come, constitutional. 7 hours showed up on Monday.
In full force.
In full force. So the gimmick of us not giving quorum.
Regardless.
Of
not
us.
Because of the letter.
Thank you. Of us not giving quorum is nonsense, because we were there. But then we felt disrespected as members of parliament. The same members of parliament that they preach on their live, that we're supposed to be unified, we were disrespected. MP Duran asked for a vote, which by the rules of order should be respected. And the chair, which may be her right, use her prerogative to say, no, I am going to go against the rules of order and I'm not putting it to a vote. So therefore, if we are not respected as members of parliament, then there's no need for us to be here. Again, with all of the rhetoric, we, as a Super 7, submitted an urgent request for the handling of the meeting. It's not our role, but hey, since you want to say we are playing games, we are sour grapes, here's an urgent request for the meeting, which should be handled in what, 48 hours.
Yeah.
To this date, right now, we are still waiting on an answer. And it don't look like this meeting will be handled before Monday.
Do you have any problems with the incoming members? As many people say, maybe, okay, the Super 7 probably have an issue with bringing in two persons so that they can be in opposition. So, just to be clear, so that the
one thing is for certain, I have utmost respect for both individuals in general, but I know Mr. Brook for a long time, very active in the community, VKS, civil servant, all those things. So no, I don't have a problem with him, and no, I don't have a problem with Mr. Kutai. Mr. Kutai is a young man vying for office.
and you always preach to
Exactly, and young people, and I too came in at a very young age, so I know the feeling. So my concerns or issues are definitely not with them. But the bigger picture is these letters of resignation, there seems to be an issue with it. And if there's not an issue, then I believe the Presidium can just clear it up.
Yeah.
And these letters tie into their approval. Silence is consent. I cannot see something that is, in my opinion, wrong with how they handle it and how it was booked in and how everything went about.
History will record agreeing or not doing anything.
Exactly. So I pointed out, and it was a simple clarification could have been provided. But it's like, you don't count, you're not part of us, so move on. So it makes me even more curious to know what are you hiding and how was it handled? Because I know for a fact that that day was a holiday, so Parliament was closed. So I'm wondering who stamped it in, how did it even come about? You know what I mean to say? So these are the questions that need to be answered. And we made it very clear in our request yesterday, where the first agenda point is to request clarity on the letter. It's there. And clarity on the letter and the whole process. Secondly, to approve the credentials. So there's no issue with them. And then guess what? We're going to be told that, hey, no, we can't do it because the SG is in Paraguay with 2/3 of the Presidium. I mean, so you're crippling Parliament now then.
Yeah.
So more reason why we can't trust this Presidium, because you're definitely not taking the people's business serious. And now you're going to say, oh, this meeting is so important and the opposition is blocking it. You jump on a flight down.
Why say the meeting will not take place?
Well, it's just to piggyback off of what MP Duran said, the fact that we're going to get a response stating that there's no CRIFI. The one CRIFI that we have is in Paraguay with the chair, you know. But we have 9 members of parliament still here. So the meeting can be handled. We are leaving next week. So we are saying, a majority of us is leaving next week. So we are saying, let us handle the meeting urgently, because if not, then these young men will not go in for the next 2 weeks. You know? So that's what we are saying. If you go and you preach to the public that it's the opposition. But one, I want the public to really realize, one, your own coalition members not showing up. 2, the opposition requested the meeting urgently before they leave, and now we're getting stories. But there are members within the parliament staff that has substituted for Khafid already in the past. And that is there right now.
Yeah. And now we even have a legislative person that can do it. You can hire somebody for a day to do it.
Which was done before
in the past. So there are ways and means. But again, now, you know what this reminds me of? The story where it's like, give me the ball. Load the ball.
Yeah.
Now you have it. Now you're saying that we block it. Now you have a request from us now, saying that, hey, listen, this is the case. Stop running behind excuses, I believe, and deal with the people's business accordingly and be transparent.
Stop fumbling the ball. When it comes to the coalition of the 2x4 and the lack of presence from the entire new coalition because it's obvious. You had MP De Weaver not being there once, then you had a situation where MP Ming Duet wasn't there, and then you had now the leader of the now not being there. Now, of course, different stories are being floated as to why, which is regular, I guess, for politics because you guys know for sure when you guys had the 8 support and questions of the legitimacy of this entire council of ministers were being thrown out every single week. You have the 8. Let me see the document.
Yep.
Yeah, but
the same
but the document. Listen, and that was so cute with that is this is a fact. You get there as a council of ministers based on the support from a majority in parliament.
Correct.
You have the confidence of parliament.
Yeah.
The only time that parliament can get rid of a minister or the council is when you no longer enjoy the confidence of a majority.
Correct.
So if there was any question, if the government had a support or it was legitimate, bring a motion and you would know.
Yeah.
So if this is the case now, then maybe a motion should be presented to know if they do enjoy the majority. It's a numbers thing, Andrew. So my point, what I'm trying to say is stop trying to fool the people, trying to get into the people's mind to say, oh, we are blocking. Everything is clear now. I mean, now the weather is a little hazy, but everything is clear in the perspective of we are signed up to have the meeting.
Yeah.
We want to have the meeting.
Yeah.
It's clear. We just want clarity on what happened with this situation.
So it doesn't come and bite us.
So it doesn't come and bite us, and so that it does not repeat itself.
Yes.
And we need to realize, right, the whole story of us not giving quorum is not factual because we showed up. And we will continue to show up, and we're asking for us to handle it before we leave. And we hear a lot of them referring to the William Marlin situation when William Marlin was out, which Parliament allows for a period of time, and he did not exceed that period of time. But during that time, there were a lot of games being played as well. We would sit there. I remember sitting there as a minister, and then opposition would sit outside and say, "We don't have to give you quorum. That's the job of your coalition."
Yeah.
And in that time, while William Marlin was away, they tried to fire MP Durant, then Minister Durant several times. But you know what happened? You know what happened? With screws and metal and all kind of stuff in his back, he caught the plane, flew back, had to be helped up the stairs to save his coalition member.
But
so
he showed that there is a majority.
So it's nothing that you are telling me. If you want to compare William Marlin, I'm pretty sure nobody's have screws and all those things in the back that you cannot fly back
and get it done for the people.
And get it done for your team just like he did.
And a lot of them was even on island.
Thank you.
On island when it happened, they didn't show up. That's what I told MP Roseborough. I say, it's all cute and nice to say about politics being played. I look in front of me, I say, you don't even have the support of your people that are here on island.
Yeah.
You know, so let's be real.
I think someone once said that in baseball, you play baseball. In cricket, you play cricket.
We play marbles.
And in politics, I guess in parliament, you play, politics because that's what the game that you're in.
That's
right?
typically what should be done. But in this case, if we were playing politics, we could never.
We don't give honest explanation.
And we could have never. I wouldn't even have come here.
Yeah, correct.
I would have just not showed up.
Say, hey, listen, and I'm very clear. The message is consistent. I check all the meetings. Where is the clarification about these documents?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
So you can't. And now it's like, you're not dealing with your kids. Where you're like, hey, shut up, your mouth. You know, back in the days when you asked too much questions, 30 years ago, it was like, hey, be quiet, just listen and follow. No, we're dealing with the people's business, which is very important. And I cannot sit back and agree with a document that could be borderline fraudulent without just getting an explanation on it.
And then once again, you guys are doing your job as members of parliament.
But again.
That's it.
To keep them accountable.
But again, Andrew, and this is where we need people to understand and decipher government and parliament. The government working. The government functioning. So when you say you're holding up the country, we ain't holding up the country.
And give them a chance. 100 days pass already.
They're working. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the people's business are being handled. The execution branch, the executive branch that carries out and should be doing executions are there. What they need to do, which is the coalition, is they need to handle their business in parliament because we are ready to do it. So allow the replacement. I'm giving you ideas. Hire somebody for one day, which was done in the past, and let's get this meeting going. If not, then you explain to the people why we have to wait another 2 weeks to bring these young men in, and explain to your coalition members, which are these two young men, why they have to wait for 2 weeks.
Final words, MD Dohan.
Well, for me, Andrew, I think that it is high time now, and we have so much technology. Everything is being recorded. So whatever fake truths they want to put out there will definitely come to light. I have no reason to try to mislead, stagnate any progress for St. Martin. I've even agreed with the onboarding of the new minister to not only with the transitional part, but actually go and speak and talk about what the challenges were, which was never done before. But I volunteered, the Prime Minister asked for it, the current Prime Minister asked for it, and we agreed to it. So I'm saying all that to say there's no animosity where I was concerned. But don't think now me with 6 years experience, gonna just lay down and watch, okay, it's no problem. And just give that level of respect. And we can definitely do great things and continue to do great things. But one thing is for sure, I have the privilege and honor to serve for 4 years straight in the executive branch, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna send St. Martin back 20 years because of your mismanagement. It has just been chaotic. We almost were pushed to the limit last week where we almost reached mid-10th. We had to come out, they couldn't get their stuff regulated. So it has continuously been, what's going on? There's no clarity, and now everybody, they're trying to point and say, oh, the governor's wrong. Yeah. I remember when I sent back a appeal, or I didn't agree with the High Council of State based on certain accusations. How can you dare question the High Council and all these things? But now you're basically questioning the governor when he's acting based on XYZ. He did not convict you years ago. That's you. Don't try to mislead and get into the minds of the people, giving out half stories and half letters and cutting off the piece so people know in a daze. And that needs to stop. Be straight, be thing, because I will definitely be holding you accountable.
MP Durant and, of course, MP Otley. Final.
Well, St. Martin, I think by now the reputation has preceded itself. What you see is what you get. What I say is what I mean. It may not always be the popular decision or the popular thing, but I say it as it is. So for me, St. Martin, to come here and tell you and explain to you the real truth and reasoning behind what you see in Parliament, it is the story. If not, and I didn't want to show up, I think, Andrew, you could attest to this. I would tell you, I ain't showing up because it's not my responsibility to show up to bring in their coalition members. And that is what you call playing politics. But we are here. We have sent in the request. So let us see if they will honor the request to get their own coalition members in. That's it.
The two MPs, one from the National Alliance, of course, the next one from United People's Party, MP Omar Otley and MP Durant.
Yes.
Yes? All right. Late night show with Anna. Yeah. You get it now? A little bit? Bring you up to date? Okay. When we come back, we got some more late night. Stay with us. Welcome. Sit back. Relax. We're almost halfway in.
I just signed up for Flex by Telem.
Do you mean flex like this?
Definitely not that.
Do you mean flex like this?
No, definitely not that.
Do you mean flex like this?
No, definitely not Flex like that. Telem's Flex is a mobile plan that adapts to your needs. Each month, I get a preset monthly fee that has a set amount of data, SMS, and minutes. So I know what I'm getting. But say goodbye to overages and bill shock, because when I go over my postpaid plan, it switches to prepaid. So I have the flexibility to top up what I need when I need it. I'm in complete control. My budget, my rules.
Now, on Monday, the Prime Minister of St. Martin, Dr. Luc Mercedina, decided to visit the GEBE power plant. He didn't want to go to the office. He wanted to go to where the people is so that he can find out what's the problem with the generators. Do we have enough generators? Is it hot? Is it cold? Where's the seaweed? Who is messing with the machines? He just took a tour together with the Minister of VROMI, the Honorable Rayon Peterson. No, he's the Chief of Staff. I meant Veronica Janssen Webster, who's holding on for Rayon Peterson. I see what they did, I see them move. So they were there present. As you can see, they did a nice tour. Pete put a nice package together, so enjoy, sit back, relax. This is our Prime Minister at our only utility company, power plant.
Today, and the Prime Minister, together with the Minister of SR and VROMI, assured us our the ability to work together in order to help solve GB moving forward. So the Minister and I, the Prime Minister and I, will have some follow-up discussions in the future, whereby we will be having more in-depth conversation about the challenges of GB and how we can solve them on a short term and a long term. And I'm really appreciative that the Minister found it fit on their second day to come to visit GB, showing us how important this infrastructure is for the people of St. Martin. And I thank you.
So today we had a tour of the power plant in KB, where we went to look at the water intake unit, followed by the operations room. And we had a good opportunity to meet some of the staff, some of the key staff of the power plant in our tour. And after we came up to the lab, we met the staff in the lab, and we came up to the water plant section where we also met staff of the water plant. It was a very interesting tour. As some of you may know, I have worked in GB as operations manager before, and it's good to be back to see the staff and also to see how the plant is evolving and to see the needs of the plant, and then to offer the assistance that government can offer to GB. So we are looking into matters in GB, and we want to assure the public that government is in talks with GB. Government is looking at ways how we can help GB to improve for the whole community.
Okay, we're here with the Prime Minister. Surprise visit to the water and electricity plant. Why, Prime Minister?
I think if you heard my speech that I held on Friday by the installment of our new government, the highest priority I had was for healthcare, mental health care, and sustainability in our utility for our country. And on day 2, I started immediately hitting the ground running, because I really believe that you have to start working to give sustainability and continuity to utility and energy for your people. And I thought on my second day, I'm going to visit not the head office, headquarters of GB. I want to see the plant where we are working on a daily basis to see what is actually going on, that we cannot guarantee continuity of energy for the people of our country.
Your impression?
My impression is that under the given circumstances, I have great respect, and I'm very grateful for the people that are working for years under difficult, challenging situations. On the other hand, at the end of the day, for us to solve on the long term the problems of TB, it's always about the big check that we need to solve our problem. And I'm going to work on it. I spoke with Mr. Washington. We made some nice commitments with a handshake with each other. And my task is to guarantee the people of St. Martin good continuity of energy supply for each house in St. Martin. And I think that's one of my responsibilities. And that is what I said in my speech. And I have that too for healthcare and also for general healthcare for the people of St. Martin.
The biggest concern, of course, is the billing. Any approach that you will take?
Yes. Coincidentally, we spoke about that too. And at this particular moment, there is a 96% success in the billing of the consumers. We thought the way we think it is, at a certain moment you are so impressed with that perception that you think that that is the reality. I can guarantee the people of St. Martin that at this particular moment, the recent figure shows that GB is already on the 96% of effectiveness of billing the people of St. Martin. So I think this is something to applaud for the organization of GB.
The organization structure, I know that you are fresh in office.
Yes.
But as far as the utility company, where does it fall under?
The utility company?
It's still under the Council of Ministers, or will it go to a minister?
No, I think you have to think big about this, Andrew.
Okay.
GB is from the people of St. Martin. GB is from the government of St. Martin. And GB is from the Council of Ministers that work for the people of St. Martin.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
All righty then. It's time for your flashback. Let's get into it.
Flashback.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Day. All right, what's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? Parliament today. You know, I swear that Parliament, you know, when you think it can't get any worse, and then it does, and then all you could do is laugh about it. Because, okay, let me set the scene for you. All right, so Parliament met today concerning our appointment to somebody to a general audit or one of the chambers, and most importantly, the amendment of the 2022 budget. That thing have to be passed or denied before the end of the year so that they can work on and present the 2023 budget. Yeah, we're always late, we're always working from behind. Welcome to St. Martin, it's not a real place. All right, good. Today in Parliament, there were the majority, which is the 8 members of Parliament. If you remember, we have 8 members supporting this particular government. And of course, the rest, the 7, is considered opposition. Yeah? Okay, good. Now, in order for you to have a quorum, for you to have a meeting, 8 members have to be present or more all the time, because majority. If you don't have 8 members, that means you don't have a majority, therefore the meeting can't continue, and then instead of it being called a meeting, it's called a gathering. You stay with me still? Good. Now, most of the time, the opposition like to flex their muscles by showing that if one of the 8 members is not present during the meeting, maybe they went to the bathroom, maybe they went on the road, come back, maybe they went upstairs in their office, maybe they're just sitting in the tribune, whatever. Somebody can say a road call, which means the chairperson of Parliament would have to then call the names of everybody there to see if there is enough support for the meeting to take place. So that happened today, where there was 2 members, or 3, or 1 or 2, I can't remember, but there were a set of members from the coalition was not present in the hall, so the opposition pulled a fast one and was like, roll call. You know, they had to rush out of there quick. But of course, the former President of Parliament, Richard Heilige Martin, doesn't understand it. So she did it wrong because she was supposed to speak. With her speaking, it would have been 8 members there. But after the opposition said, well, some of the opposition members said roll call, she was destined to speak. She had to be speaking. So she said, "Good morning. Is there a quorum? Oh, there is? Okay, no, there isn't." And then she left while speaking. I swear, if somebody don't coach this green, no pun intended, but this green politician, she is going to be better than Hyacinth Richardson. And you know exactly what I mean by that. Because I trying to understand how it is possible that while you are speaking, you are the eighth member, you're going to stop from talking while you're talking and then leave. And then afterwards, bitch about it when you don't get a chance to speak again. Enough of me talking. I just had to set you the scene. This is what happened in Parliament today.
The proposal of order by MP Westcott Williams. MP Westcott Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chairman, and a good afternoon to all. Mr. Chairman, I want to propose that rather than the speaker's time that is mentioned in the convocation, which is 20 minutes first round, 10 minutes second round, that we maintain the budget speaking time, because this is the budget 2022, late albeit, but it is the budget 2022. And normally we would do 90 minutes and 45, 90 in the first, 45 in the second round. And I want to propose that for this budget debate in a public meeting of Parliament, we maintain our budget speaking time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's the proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Westcott Williams. Anyone else? Don't see anyone seconded in the time I've given, but now I will go according to the speakers list. MP Grisha Martin has the floor. MP Grisha Martin, you have the floor.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
She didn't ask.
MP Peterson, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, you did not give the members of Parliament any opportunity to raise our hands to second the proposal of order made by MP Westcott Williams. You just looked at us and then went silent.
Silence is volume 2 sometimes. I gave the floor to second it, and I did not see anyone doing that. So I would now proceed with the speakers list, and MP Grisha Martin has the floor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to yourself. Good afternoon to the Secretary General. Good afternoon to the, yeah, I guess we have no quorum. We have quorum?
MP Akeem Arundel. Present. MP Bijlani.
Present.
MP Bryson.
Presente. Present, sorry.
MP Duncan. MP Emmanuel. MP Gums. MP Heiliger Martin.
MP Gums is present. Oh, Lumo, sorry.
MP Ponteflet.
Present.
MP Peterson. MP Richardson.
Present.
MP Rameau.
Present.
MP DeWeaver. MP Westcott Williams.
We just adjourned the meeting and until further notice. Meeting adjourned.
Of course. And you know, Cookie was a bit aggressive today. Take it easy, Cookie. Cookie took this chairperson thing serious. You notice, like, she was ready. He was ready to get black. Do not mess with me. You know, get serious. be careful, don't mess with Indians, some people, or you watch out. All right. So the meeting was then recalled, of course, because of course the meeting, the 8 members were there present, so they continued the meeting a little later on Tuesday, and yeah, then this happened.
During the meeting earlier today, the minister gave his presentation and the floor had just been given to the first speaker, MP Grisha Halliger Martin.
A point of order, Mr. Chairman.
MP Bryson, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I just would like to understand how we left the meeting a while ago, because there was an 8th person in the room. There were 8 people in the room. At the time, the speaker, MP Grisha Halliger Martin, asked, yeah, I guess we have no quorum. Then stated, oh, we do? Okay, now we don't. Then walked away from her speaking time. Until she had left the hall, Mr. Chairman, there was a quorum. So she walked away from her speaking time, and then you asked for a roll call. The MP did not ask for a roll call. So am I to understand who is to speak next? Because if that is the case, while I'm speaking, am I allowed to walk away from the microphone while there's a quorum, chill out for a bit in the hall, and then come back and continue my speech? I would just like to understand what we're doing. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, MP Bryson. Let me just understand this with my General Secretary for a minute. To my own knowledge, which I know, and after consulting with my Secretary General, I believe MP Grisha Marlin had the floor. Grisha Halliger Martin had the floor when the quorum was there. She could have continued with the quorum, but she herself relieved that. So I believe her speaking time is not available anymore. So I would like to go to the next person on the list.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
MP Sarah Westcott Williams. MP Westcott Williams, you have the floor.
Are you going to ignore my point of order, Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman, based on what rules of order is it that I gave up my speaking time? I said I noted, I didn't see any other MP. From what I counted here, it was about 7 of us, and I walked out because that was the count. So I said, to my knowledge, I didn't see it.
MP Grisha Halliger Martin, I mentioned, including you, we were 8, and the meeting was continued. And as MP Bryson just mentioned that, oh, so without me, now it's none, and you walked out. So you really had to pause the quorum here. Otherwise, we were 8 and we could have continued. So at that moment, I believe you took a decision you don't want to continue further.
I never mentioned
and
that.
You left when you leave. So your speaking time got over with that.
That's not a problem,
I
Mr.
would
Chairman.
go,
Thank you.
next person on the list is MP Sarah Westcott Williams, but she has not signed the attendance list. So being that case, I would go MP Christopher. Okay, I give you 2 minutes. It's not ridiculous, please. So when you're here, please sign the attendance list. You've been waiting here for 30 minutes. MP Sarah Westcott Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to our Secretary General and my colleagues. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to the Minister and his entourage. Good afternoon to all tuned in to this meeting. Mr. Chairman, it is clear. It is clear why the chair lady, former chair lady of Parliament, was unceremoniously dismissed from her function. It is now very clear. It is clear what we expect of a chairperson. And if that is not taking place the way we expect it, I guess, Mr. Chairman, you will be next.
All right, so what can I say? Democracy at its best, people. That's all. That's all. It's so hypocritical from the PFP because they have the record for the most walkout for this parliament here. The most walkout. They're just walking out of every single meeting. What's going on? Or you just don't come to work anymore? Is it that you just come and, you know, just nothing, zero type of... I don't know. I just don't know. PFP, Orajana Bofo, whatever. In other news, Savage Chris is not letting go from the airport. Yes, the airport is still on the minds of our good politicians. And of course, the head on the chopping block is Brian Mingo, who is continuously the worst. The worst CEO in St. Martin history. I gotta make sure to emphasize on the history. And anyway, Savage Chris is going to make a file and file a complaint with the public prosecutor office for them to investigate the whole hoopla at the airport. He said that during an interview with PGD2 Radio.
But I want to launch a formal complaint at the prosecutor's office to look into the matter of what is happening down at PJIA, because, you know, at some point in time, we got to call a spade and say when something is wrong. And this is wrong. Now you're telling us that the terminal building will be complete in 2024, the second quarter. Stephen, it is unacceptable. And then they give you these press releases and nothing from the government in terms of questioning, but why? Why is this happening? And then you see them come out with these report after report that the airport itself commissioned in 2017. And you know, the thing about it, Stephen, is that the airport requested a report to be done in 2017. They called NACO. NACO put them on to ABT that did the report. Stephen, today the engineering company on the airport that's doing the engineering is NACO, the same company. But yet you get the airport and ballast near them coming out and telling us that these things are unforeseen. No, Stephen, is unacceptable. So we need answers and we need to get down to the nitty-gritty of the matter. They need to come with tangible answers. They need to put the numbers together. They need to inform the people of St. Martin in terms of specifics. And don't take us for granted. Don't do as if we are not intelligent enough to understand the dynamics of the construction or the reconstruction of the airport. I think that is what they are banking on. They look at St. Martin as a group of individuals who are basically indigent and dependent on so many other things that we are so focused on something else that we are not seeing what is happening.
Okay, so what have we learned? We have learned that Savage Chris would rather be a police officer. We have learned that the PFP likes to walk out along with Huisha Heilige being inexperienced member of parliament. We have learned that 8 members of parliament is going to continue governing this place by the hook and by the crook. And also, Auntie Sarah is very upset.
That is it for the Late Night Show. Thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow, do have a safe and pleasant one. Bye-bye.